So a lot of people ask me, Pat, what kinds of equipment do you use for your videos? Well, all that stuff, which I know isn't really practical for those of you who are at home and shooting videos for your own YouTube videos or even online courses. But in this video, I wanna show you a super simple setup with the help of Caleb here, who's actually gonna be filming with an iPhone, which will be a view that you see, which you should see right now. Hey everybody. How to film something of quality that is YouTube and or video course worthy. So stick around. All right, so Caleb, before we set this up, I wanted to ask you a couple things. Is an iPhone or an Android, Samsung or whatever, are those cameras good enough now to film?
Plenty good enough.
Okay, the second question on lighting. Do we need to buy lights or get lighting in order to have good quality video?
The only thing buying lights does is it makes it consistent, so you can film at any time of the day. But if you don't have the money for a light or you don't want to spend money on a light, you can use natural light and use the biggest window in your house.
Okay, so if we were going to film a course here, but we didn't have all this equipment, where would you recommend we go? And hopefully people might have an equivalent or something similar at their house.
I would go to the biggest windows, and I would go to the front green room, the planning room there, because there's windows all on one side, and sometimes I don't even bring lights in there, and we just film using the window.
All right, let's go. We're gonna use the iPhone and see what it looks like. Okay, so here's the room that we're in right now. We call this the green room because there's green things in here. But
so the first thing I would do is I would turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the overhead fluorescent lights, they look like junk. If they're on, like, it's a weird color, it gives you weird shadows under your eyes. Turn off the lights. That would be the first step.
Okay.
Second step would be, right now all the blinds are actually closed, so I would just open them up.
Okay. That's easy.
Yeah.
Not really a nice view out there.
Oh, the dumpster? Yeah. But if you look this way now, it's nice, soft light.
Oh, we look this
that
way.
Yeah, nice soft light. You would have to pay a lot of money to get enough lights to make something this size and this soft and beautiful. So, window light.
Okay.
Third thing, clouds. If it's a cloudy day, partially cloudy, mostly cloudy, that will impact your filming because the lighting is going to change. So ideally, you either film on a day that's completely cloudy and overcast or a day that's completely sunny. It's these partially cloudy days that you kind of just have to pay attention to the lighting changing, and it might make it harder when you edit.
Okay, so let's turn the iPhone on right now.
Yep.
And we'll start to look at that view. And so I'll play behind the scenes here. If I'm filming a course, I know from experience that I don't want to be sitting like here.
Because this is the iPhone view now.
Right, so this is where I would be looking.
Right now you're really dark and the outside is bright. And if I try to make you really bright, then the outside is completely blown out and white. So sitting in front of a window when it's really bright doesn't work.
That's like a silhouette, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so instead I would imagine that having the light facing you would be best, right? So let me go here and let's see what difference that makes.
So I'm setting down the tripod, a little low, but tap on your face, exposure's good. That's decent lighting. I don't think I would change much about that.
Hi everybody. But how about, let's think of like what's behind me. If you are in a room, what would be best behind you for scenery, right? Because if I were to go to like this scene, you'd have a half-cut window and some post-it notes, which I really wouldn't want in a course or a video, right?
I mean, oftentimes I default to filming with a bookshelf behind you. So having the bookshelf behind you, that's a pretty normal backdrop.
So this is actually not a bad angle.
Yeah.
Would it matter like filming into the corner of a room versus like the flat side?
Sometimes corners add depth, but flat side, clean wall. You know, lately I've just been filming with a paper backdrop roll, so I don't have to think about any of that stuff, and I just simplify it, make it be super clean.
So I would recommend having the same place in your house with windows that you can basically look toward, the video pointing away from it, that just becomes the place in the home or the office to just always do it, right?
Yeah, and that's what I would do too. The more permanent your setup, the more often you're going to just like start recording, which is partially why you have this little GoPro setup you've been using lately, because it's just on a SwitchPod, ready to go, and you can just hit record, start talking, and you don't have to think about all the technical stuff, and when you film your stuff, you just do it outside, or you just open a window, and it's just kind of easing the making of the videos.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more and go back to the iPhone really quick that we have. Obviously, you can click and change certain settings while filming. how would you do that? Like, would you click on the subject? Would you click behind the subject? I don't know how that works on an iPhone.
So basically you would tap on what you want it to focus on, and then it'll set exposure, which is how bright or dark something is at the same time. And if you want to lock that, you just press and hold, and it'll lock focus and exposure so that it's not changing all the time.
Okay.
But you can also drag up and down. If it looks too bright, you drag it down a little bit. If it looks too dark, you drag it up, and then you can set it that way.
And hit record once, get through that section of your course or video. Don't stop between takes.
Yeah, that's a common misconception that every time you mess up, you should stop it and restart. Just talk through it all, and you'll edit out all the mistakes.
And then finally, in terms of audio, let's talk about that really quick. What would you do at a minimum for decent audio?
If you're filming on a phone, I like the Rode SmartLav Plus. Plugs into the headphone jack or the lightning port or USB or whatever your phone has, and you clip it onto your shirt and it sounds pretty good. Or you can get something like this Rode Video Micro, and you'd have to kind of mount it on top of whatever camera you have. But the biggest thing is, closer the mic is to you, the better it's going to sound. So as we walk further away from this, it's going to sound worse. As Pat brings it in, it's going to start to sound a little clearer.
Or if it gets super close to it, hey guys, I bet this sounds super creepy. Sorry. Awesome. And then second final question. In terms of framing yourself on the camera, is there, I know there's like a rule of thirds or so, like where should your eyes be?
Yeah, I tend to do rule of thirds for where someone's eyes are. So if you cut it into 3 sections vertically, I usually put someone's eye on that top of the 2 lines. And then either just put yourself in the middle, or if you're going to be showing stuff next to you, like in a YouTube video or a course or whatever, put yourself on one of the thirds. So usually I put Pat or whoever else I'm filming on the right third line, and then on the left side there's room for text to come up or photos or slides or what have you.
Nice. So if you know that in your videos you want to edit in text or things that come in, it's best to be on either one side or the other. Does it matter left or right to you?
I just prefer the person to be on the right.
Okay. And the text come in on the left. Fantastic. Hopefully that makes sense. And I don't, now that there's 2 cameras, like
Which one do you look at?
I don't know.
Both, yeah.
It's like that part in Moana where it's like, just choose one eye.
Of the month. Just pick an eye, babe. I can't concentrate on what I'm saying if you keep... Yep, pick one. Pick one.
So Team Flynn, let us know what you think and if you have any questions. And also, would you like any tutorials like this, sort of hands-on behind-the-scenes tutorials for other things that I do? Let me know, and I'd be happy to help out, and we'll make it work. So Caleb, any final thoughts before we head out?
Just keep it easy, and I know that people are going to ask what this thing is.
What this thing is. This contraption that I'm holding is called the SwitchPod. So for all of you watching on this camera angle now, this is a invention that Caleb and I both built and invented, and it is going live on Kickstarter soon, if not already, at SwitchPod Co. And it allows you to hold things vlog style like this, but also with just a snap, you can place it down and start filming with the light coming from behind the camera like you know now how to do. So anyway, thank you all so much for being here. SwitchPod.co if you want to check out this device, and also let me know if you have any questions below. Thanks so much, Team Flynn. You're amazing. Team Flynn for the win.